All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's objective is that all students will be able to convert a fraction to a percent value. Also, we will be able to convert a decimal to a percent. So, let's go ahead and get started. Take out your notebooks and let's take some notes. Converting a decimal to a percent. So we start with this decimal, 3/10. The first thing we need to do is simply move the decimal 2 places to the right. This is such an easy thing to do. If there isn't a place value there, then we need to annex a 0 in. Next, we simply add the percent sign, and you just converted to a percent. So, 3/10 is equal to 30%. Let's practice with a few examples over here. Go ahead and convert this one to a percent using the steps you just learned. What did you get? 41.54%? Excellent. Try the next one. So how did you do? 78%? Move the decimal 2 places to the right and add that percent sign. Ooh, this next one's challenging. What does that line above the 3 mean? The first thing you need to do is write it with several 3's because that means the 3 is repeating. Now we can move that decimal 2 places to the right and add the percent sign. Notice, since the 3 is still repeating, my 10ths place in the percent is a repeating 3. See if you can apply that to solve this next one. Okay, first you write the decimal with the repeating 6's. Since the line's only over the 6, that's the only number that's repeating. When you write the percent, it would be 16.6 repeating percent. And finally, this last one, what do we do when there's a whole number to the left of the decimal? Well, we simply follow the same steps. 488.7%. All right, let's move on to converting a fraction to a percent. So our first example is 3/4. How do we convert that to a percent? First, we need to convert it to a decimal by taking the numerator divided by the denominator. This is one of the methods you can use. Write out and do it in long division. Notice we had to add a decimal behind the 3. We had to add a couple zeros back there. And then go about our long division process to get 75/100ths. My next step is to move the decimal 2 places to the right and add the percent sign. So I have my decimal value of 75/100ths. I move it 2 places to the right, add that percent sign, and we got it. We just converted a fraction to a percent. Now there is another method that you can use, and that's when you can find an equivalent fraction with a base 10 number as the denominator. Now this might actually sound confusing, but it's actually an easier method. It doesn't work all the time though. In the example we have, notice how 4 goes evenly into 100. 100 is a base 10 number. The numbers 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, 1,100,000, those are all base 10 numbers. And anytime a number goes into a base 10 number evenly, it may be easier to write it as a fraction over a base 10 number. Then we can write the decimal value for this just like you would say it in word form, 75/100ths. And when I write that as a decimal, it looks just like this, 75/100ths, where the 5 is in the hundredths place, the last digit of the decimal. Next, I'm simply going to follow the steps that I've already done. Move that decimal 2 places to the right and add the percent sign. And we just converted a fraction into a percent using method 2. Let's do some more practice problems with this. So convert 1/5 into a percent. So what did you get? Did you use the base 10 method, method 2? Because 5 times 20 equals 100. And we can write 20 hundredths as a decimal, like so. Then all we have to do is follow converting a decimal into a percent, move that decimal 2 places to the right, add that percent sign, and boom, you got it, 20%. How about 1/4? Go ahead and solve it on your own. Let's see how you do. Did you set it up like this? That's right, we're using a proportion, just like we have just been practicing in class. 4 times 25 is 100, so 1 times 25 equals 25 hundredths, written as a decimal, just like this. Now, again, we're simply going to move that decimal 2 places to the right, add the percent sign, and boom, we got 25%. How about 4/5? Oh yes, you got this down. 5 times 20 is 100, so we did have, once again, a base 10 number. And 80 hundredths can be written like this. And when we convert it to a decimal, it looks like this. Add that percent sign, move the decimal 2 places to the right, and we've got 80%. Now we come to a little bit more challenging one. Because 1/3, notice 3 does not go evenly into the number 10 or 100 or 1,000. So we have to divide. Use that long division process. Notice the 1 is in the box. We had to add a decimal and zeros. And when we notice that we have a pattern going on, 10 minus 9 is 1, 10 minus 9 is 1, that means that we're going to have a repeating decimal. This is our pattern. So we write that as 0.3 repeating, or 3/10 repeating in this case. And when we want to convert it to a percent again, remember what we did previously. We write out several place values past that tenths place, so that when we move the decimal 2 places to the right, we get 33.3 repeating percent. See if you can do this last one on your own. Notice there is now a whole number. How will that affect your answer? Yep, you still need to convert that fraction into a decimal value. If you noticed it's a base 10 number and the multiplier is 5, we get 5/10. Now, don't forget, you still have that whole number 3. So when we write this, it's 3 5/10. And when we convert this to a percent, we're going to once again move the decimal 2 places to the right, add that 0, and then add the percent sign, 350%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just learned how to convert a decimal to a percent and a fraction to a percent. I hope this helped you out. See ya!